Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. It is shade of the month time. Have you seen April's new shade? This one is definitely perfect for spring. So here is Lily. We're gonna be doing an eye look with this color today. I'm gonna be showing you all the comparison swatches and we're gonna get right on into it. If you wanna check out this color, please keep watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for being here. Okay friends, so it's April. It's time for a brand new shade of the season. And I feel like you've either been waiting for this color within Seint, or you're gonna be like, no, that color is not for me. It's like, most people aren't in the middle. It's a cool one. So you either love a great, light, cool matte, or you don't know what to do with it, right? So a lot of people have been asking for a lavender shade for a while now, and we never had anything like it. I'm always like, the closest one's like London, and it was very gray in comparison. So let's do some comparison swatches. This month it is Lily. So I feel like it was deceiving from the photos. Like, this color is actually a lot lighter than I originally expected. So it is lavender, even if it looks not so much on camera. It's like my daughter's favorite color. If you saw her go to school, you would be like, oh my gosh, she carries a lavender Stanley, a lavender backpack, a lavender lunchbox, a lavender coat. Like, she's decked out. In fact, her entire room is this color. So my daughter loves it. It's usually not a color I gravitate towards for my eyes. Okay, do you see how it's kind of deceiving? Like, it doesn't go on as purple as you'd think, and it doesn't go on as light as you think either. Obviously, like every color, you can build it up, but it's definitely more like a 2 shade in my opinion. And she's cool and she's matte. So let's do some comparisons. The only thing, close, like, oh gosh, I feel like this is a hard shade to compare because we don't have very many purples, but we do have other light colors, I guess you could say. So let's first go with like a color at the same depth. I would say at the same depth, if you kind of like this shade, but maybe wanted a different tone, this is Paris. And even when swatching that, I feel like even Paris looks darker. So one of the other limited edition shades is, I feel like, very comparable. This is Strawberry Fields. So it wasn't in the advent calendar, but I feel like it's got that really light brightening effect. You see how light? Like, this one's, in my opinion, even lighter, even though like next to each other in the 10, it's hard to even tell a difference. Can you see it from far away? Probably not. This one's Lily, this one's Strawberry Fields. So Strawberry Fields is, I feel like, even lighter than Lily. And then because I'll get asked, Mama, which I always felt like was just a darker version of Paris, that's Mama. So I know a lot of you guys have that one, so you can kind of tell. This one's gonna be brighter, definitely cooler. These are pinks, so they're technically warm. And then Lily is a purple, so it is cool. Now, purples, right? Because like, as far as depth and matte, there you go. If you wanted to see Cupcake, Cupcake is the one that is like the lightest matte we have. This is like the same color as Vanilla Dust, just not translucent. So you can kind of see how it goes light to dark. People used to ask me for a lavender. I'm like, London's lavender. I feel like it is a very gray based lavender. I mean, they're not even close. But here you go. Here's London. I love London, but it looks so dark and so gray in comparison. Do you see that? London's one of the very few shades I consider a satin, meaning it's not really matte, it's not really a shimmer, but it kind of catches light, okay? Now these do not. These are definitely straight up mattes. And then also purples, but more in the shimmer family. I consider Bend and Snap and Gigi to be, which I've always thought these are very, very similar. I always considered those to be the only other ones we kind of had in our purple family. So you can probably tell from looking at this. Nothing is really close to Lili. If you're looking for a lavender, it's your only option. Go darker matte. Lullaby is in the purple family, but I consider these more mauve. Definitely London is more of like a gray purple, and then this is a lavender. So there's London. And then the darkest of dark is gonna be Amethyst. And then if you want straight up purple, we got purple is As If. Okay, so there we go. Kind of some pinks and purples, just ballparking color family. That's what I got. I think the only one I kind of missed that's matte also in there would be Claire. Okay, definitely more of a warm pink matte. And then in case anyone asks, on Wednesdays is more of a, again, that sheen, less super shimmery, but that sheen of a pink, which is kind of light, but again, nowhere close, right? So Lili's kind of in a classification by itself. Like we've never had anything close. So if you've been looking for a lavender matte, there you go. You can get it the month of April while supplies last. Okay, so how can you wear this shade? We're gonna keep it as easy and simple as possible. Okay, we're gonna start with an everyday, very natural look, and we're gonna build from there. So I already did it on this side. I feel like people are gonna be like, oh, that color cannot look natural. I'm here to tell you it will. And surprise, surprise, can you guess what I paired it with? So this is very cool. I'm going to pair it with a warm shade for balance. I need that in my face. I know so many of you guys need it as well. So I'm gonna just go in with my good old Standby Bubba because it is a really nice 4 shade. I'm gonna carve out my crease and then I can go in with my cool shade, okay? So if you don't like warm shades, if you wanna keep it as neutral as possible, basic, if you have Dream from last month, those are both really good options. Bird is really nice and neutral too. The cooler you go with this shade, the more it's gonna be like a smoky effect as you get on. Does that make sense? Because those cool shades tend to look the smokiest when you build them up. 'Cause cool is gray, gray adds more shadow, okay? Less warmth, more shadow is definitely gonna give you smoky. You could even just use your bronzer if you like using Bella on the eyes. You could easily add a little bit of your bronzer or contour even, and then just use a touch of Lili on the lid to brighten. Because this color is so light, I feel like it brightens without catching light. So for those that don't like to wear shimmers at all, this is a really good color because it will add brightness without a lot of product. And you don't need much to just kind of press it on the lid and get that brightening effect. Obviously, if you're like, okay, that's too stark of a contrast, because again, using a warm color with a cool color is gonna contrast. That is what I like. I like the balance of the two, but you could wear as heavy or as light as you like. Okay, so I like to just kind of keep it on that inside to middle of the lid again, because this is what's going to brighten and open up the eye without having to catch light with a shimmer. Okay, there's the everyday look, easy peasy, 2 shades. Now let's step it up a notch. This is no liner. I would personally kind of add a little bit of definition along the lash line if I wanted to just take it up one little step. Still appropriate for daytime, but just to give my eyes a little bit more definition. So for this method, literally any 5 shade will do. Pick a 5 shade, whatever your poison. You guys know me, I usually like something, I tend to go with coal if I want a lot of depth at my lash line, like a little less stark than straight up black, but gives me a lot of definition. So for daytime, I tend to go a little bit warmer. Again, it'll look a little bit more natural. So you can go with something like Trust, which is got more brown in it, Cocoa, which is even more brown, even more natural, or Revival, which gives a little bit of color, but is still really deep and dark for definition. Those are the ones that are in my everyday palette. Again, doesn't matter the color. I'd say anything will go. If you're really wanting it to go with Lili, depends on how much you've packed on Lili. I'd say maybe the other cool tones wouldn't look quite so natural with it, like the blues and greens. I would stick with more neutral to brown blacks. Even the dark purple like Amethyst would look really beautiful paired with it. So I'm just gonna go with Revival. This is my go-to for most days. And I'm just going to press it along the lash line, kind of haphazardly. Sometimes I go just to where my lashes kind of start so that this area doesn't get too dark, because I don't have a lot of lid space. So for my fellow hooded eye ladies, keeping this area lighter can catch more light. And then just keeping the smudgy area, and then I'm gonna like take off excess and kind of just soften. Again, all of this just with the multitasker, and I didn't put any other line under it. So for daytime, a lot of times you won't see me line under it. If I know I'm gonna be taking that look into night and I want like the most depth at my lash line and I want the best longevity, that's when I will pick up my faves for those like pin type liquid liners that are waterproof. And I know that if this shadow fades through the day, I'm still gonna have that definition at my lash line for nighttime. So Kat Von D's ink liner. Love this Ouzo black liquid, black with a Q liquid liner. And then I've used this quite a few times and you guys keep asking me what it is. So this is a brown liquid liner. It's called Big Truffle, and this is Fenty Beauty's Fly Liner. And sometimes it looks a little red, but it is brown, but it isn't. Like the more you build it up, the darker it's gonna get, but it's really beautiful underneath that Revival. If you're looking for something less stark than straight up black, but I love this like felt tip. You don't have to be really like clean about it if you're gonna press a shadow over it. So if you can kind of tell the difference, I just got some definition at my lash line and I feel like it makes all the difference. And truth be told, if you do this for day and then you're ready to go out at night, you can easily just kind of add a little bit at the lash line right before you go out on top of it. there are no rules. Like, you can build up color so easily. And I also like to take the edge and whatever's left over and just keep it on that very outer corner. And softly blend it in. So I'm getting some definition. Not too much for daytime, but definitely could take it into night. Hey, you guys ready to step it up? We're gonna step it up a lot. I feel like you could take this in a couple different steps. You could just go outer corner. You could just go building up with a lily. And you could just go with a little bit of shimmer. I'm gonna do it all. So I'm gonna show you if I was taking Lily to a nighttime look. First of all, I would definitely build up the color more visibly. And obviously, you could also do this with the daytime. If you really want that color to pop, it still looks so beautiful, right? Subtle or dramatic. So I'm taking it up a lot. I want you to be able to see that. Look how light it is. Okay, it brightens so much. Okay, let's say we don't want quite so much contrast. That's when I'm gonna go in with a shimmer. Now, this color would make a great base for any shimmer. You could add something like really subtle over it, like Riviera, and add a little bit of just sheen to the look. So like, say you're like, oh, Sarah, I am so anti-matte on the lids after wearing shimmers that catch the light. I get you, right? You could totally add something really neutral, a little bit more, a little bit less pigmented, so you can kind of still see that tone through it. If you wanted to keep it, oh, I forgot about Venus. Venus is an actual purple shimmer. Sorry, it's not super purple, but that would look so pretty over it. I was gonna use a different one, but now maybe I should use this one. So this is the most purple undertoned or most lavender undertoned shimmer we kind of have. Although if you look at it, it looks pretty neutral unless you're really building it up, then you can kind of see that cool undertone. So something like this would be amazing just to pop on the inner corner, just to add a little bit of light catching properties, right? Okay, so we've got Venus as an option. I was planning on taking like Gigi, which is another of those purples. I believe it was the second one. Taking a little bit darker of a shade and just popping it right on the ball of your eyelid. So right on the top, right in the middle to catch light. Again, if you keep that, I feel like I shouldn't have put them both on the same eye. I should have done one or the other. If you keep Lily light and bright in the corner and then keep Gigi right in the center, they'll kind of blend into one another and you'll keep that brightness from Lily and then get that kind of shimmer factor of the Gigi in the center of the lid, which I think is really pretty. So let's keep these two on this eye. Then I'm gonna take Venus, which you can tell is much lighter. And we're gonna kind of use that as our brightener shade. So right on the tear duct, and then we're gonna bring it in on the eye. So I'd say inner third, just enough to add some light catching to the Lily, since Lily won't because it's a matte. Okay, and then for that outer corner depth, let's go in with Oak. I think London would be really pretty if you want like an all purples look. London and then just keeping that warmth with the Bubba in the crease. But I'm gonna use Oak because it's one of the most versatile shades we have. And I'm just gonna use the smudge brush and I'm just gonna add a little bit of depth in the outer corner and into that crease. So taking it from day to night, we just kind of wanna increase that depth, which will increase that drama and open up our eyes way bigger, right? Oak and Bubba paired together is like one of my favorite combos because Oak gives that beautiful shadow and depth, and then Bubba brings it to life. Just keep that Bubba high up on crease and it opens up the eye and it just has the most beautiful blend together. That cool and warm combo. If you can't tell, it has my heart. Now, obviously, if you want a little cray-cray, layer in shades and covered up all of your liner, you can go back and add some more. Add mascara, and there you go. Can you tell the difference between the two looks? This one's got more shimmer, less shimmer. I feel like they're both still brightening. Still got some drama. Don't look overly purple, which I feel like depends on the look you're going for. If you want that, you can definitely pair it with some of these other fun purple shades. Use some Amethyst as your liner, or London in your outer corner, or Lullaby. London, Lullaby. Pair this on the lid. Brighten with, oh, I forgot to brighten on this side. Brighten with Venus. And yes, I'm even gonna use it under the brow because, does it look purple? It's a very subtle, cool undertone, I promise. There you go. There's the final look. What do you guys think? Are you scared of purple? Did you think that you would want a lavender shade ever? If you did, you're gonna love this color. If not, I might have convinced you. It is super pretty and the perfect shade for spring. I hope that was helpful. I hope that made the shade less scary for some of you. As always, if you're needing help with your 3D foundation, Demi Colour, or even an eyeshadow match, I do those as well. I will put my color match questionnaire links in the drop box below the video, as well as the pinned comment. I'd be happy to help you. And don't forget, you can only get Lili the month of April or while supplies last. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Love you.